Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be having a look at Dispur. This is the ultimate raffle toolbox. This has everything. If you're running raffles, you need this. It's as simple as that. If you want to step up, this is the tool for you. In this video, I'm going to take you through it. I'm going to tell you all about it, and let's just get straight into it. And right now, what you can see is you can see the CLI window and the folders. So these are all the folders that come with the bot, and this is where you can set everything up, and this is what you actually run. There's no GUI interface. It is all a CLI, which stands for command line interface, but it's still pretty intuitive, and this kind of shows you actually just in these first few seconds this screen of everything you can do, and it's insane. Just need to say before we get into the video, this is all for educational purposes only. So first one, you can create Gmail accounts, you can forward Gmail accounts, and you can unclip Gmail accounts. You also can do all that stuff with Outlook, Nike. You can also do that with Twitter accounts, which is really cool. Zalando, Amazon. You also have a bunch of raffle tools and Mailbird. So let's actually take you through this one by one. So if I press 1 on my keyboard, you can see it comes up here, and that is selecting Gmail. If I press enter, it shows you all the different options we can do. So the first one is a Gmail generator, and this is pretty self-explanatory. I've got another video on a Gmail generator, and I'll have them in the corner there. And Dispur essentially works the same. It's pretty efficient. It's on par with the rest of them. It's as good as them, but they don't actually publish this enough, and in their PR, they really should kind of tell everyone about it a lot more, because this does Outlook, Nike, and pretty much everything else. Other bots like Gad and Jen also done a video on that they also do, but I don't think it costs as much as that, and maybe that's because it doesn't have the nice GUI and interface, and it might not be just as efficient as that. However, I still think it's pretty efficient, and it's up there. So yeah, we have the generator. You can generate Gmail accounts, perfect for raffle botting, and potentially even one-clicks if you're a US botter, or potentially doing Shopify, Yeezy supplies, stuff like that. You also have the forwarder, again, perfect for raffles. You generate your Gmails, you then forward them all to a master, so you can have a bunch of random Gmails all going to one inbox, which is perfect, and that is exactly what you want for raffles. You also have a Gmail unclipper. So let's say you have a bunch of Gmails. You can actually run the Gmail checker down here, and this will tell you if any have been clipped, which is really important because you don't actually know. You might just not receive some emails, and you might be a little bit confused. You can run the Gmail checker. It'll go through all of your Gmails. It'll let you know if any have been clipped, and then you can go ahead and run your Gmail unclipper. This will then use SMS codes and reactivate them. It will submit messages. It's really, really effective. You also have the IMAP activator. Now, a lot of people will be like, oh, what's that? So this is essentially if you want a bot like Raffle Hive. Also did another video on that. Whoa, look at me. I'm plugging the videos today. And that will essentially allow the bot to be able to check and scan for emails without logging in, because it can send an IMAP request. Something along the lines of that. But it is really important you do actually get your Gmail's IMAP activated. And it also does less secure apps within that as well. But let's go ahead and just generate a Gmail. So if I go ahead and press 1, then enter, you can then choose the profile. So you set profiles up in this CSV, and as you can see, I've set up an SMS Activate UK and SMS Activate India, so IN. And essentially what I've done here is both of these are actually using SMS Activate as their kind of tool to do SMS codes. And then one is a UK profile, so this is using UK as the country, and the second one's using India. Let's go ahead and do an India. Press 2, enter. How many accounts? Let's press 1. How many browsers? So this is essentially how efficient you want it to be. If you've got a really powerful computer, you can crank this up. We're only doing one account, so we can go with one browser. And here we go. So here we go. It has started. Just had to swap out my proxies there. Some weird things come up in the bottom, but that's just all about the fingerprint of this device. And as you can see, it's already doing the phone number. And actually, I believe I need to open a second tab so it can receive the phone number. So you need to open this up in the background, and this will essentially have all of your numbers on here. And it has gone ahead, and it's actually filled that in already. And look at that, we've already created an account within that time. It's created the account, it's done the terms and conditions. This works super fast, and again, this is just creating only one account. You can fire up 5 browsers of these, doing it loads. You can do this while you're at school. Just make sure your SMS account is topped up, and look at that, already we've created a Google account. Again, we can just go ahead and exit from these at the bottom, and just like that, we've actually created a Google account that fast. Now, it's even better, because what you can do, this is just giving it a random name that isn't actually that good. We've got Mayor Parish 98@gmail.com, but we can go ahead and actually do that better. You can customize what each account you want to be within it, and as you see, it's just reset itself there, taking us back to the start page because it's completed. That is really cool. And then we can use the Gmail IMAP activator here. We can go ahead and press 4. We could then forward that to a master email, and then we can even check that by pressing 5, but we don't want to do that. You get the idea of Gmail. It's very effective, it's very fast, and it works really, really well. We're going to go ahead and press X and get out of there. So the second one is Outlook. If I go ahead and press enter, as you can see, it's very, very similar to what you just saw with the Gmail. You have an Outlook generator. Again, great for raffles. So Outlooks aren't actually as kind of prestigious as Gmails. Some raffles won't even look at Outlooks. They just completely get rid of them. They don't look at them, and they just stick to Gmails. You do want to consider this. However, for some, they'll be perfectly fine, and normally they are cheaper to make because Google clip a lot more accounts, whereas Outlook don't really. You also get aliases, so you can have 3 emails for one email, which can then all be forwarded, so it can get pretty insane. The numbers can get pretty big pretty fast, especially using a tool like this. I think it is perfect. And then, as I said, you have the generator, the unclipper, and the clip checker. You don't really use IMAP or anything like that with Outlooks. Go ahead and press X and you go back out. Now, Nike is when this really starts to get interesting, because you really start to see it stand out from other Raffle toolboxes. And this is why I think Dispur Gen really is the best. You know, when you're looking at the whole package here, I don't think anything else comes near to it, and I don't know why more people aren't trying to get in Dispur Gen. So if I go ahead and press 3, you can see you have the Nike generator. This is a Nike account generator. This can be used for stuff like sneakers, Nike.com, anything like that. If you want Nike slots, you know who to message. Contact me on Twitter, Discord. Everything will be in the description. But yeah, you can also verify your accounts. So that is, if they get unverified, you can go ahead and verify them again, right all in the Dispur Gen. So literally, you're covered on everything. It's so sick. You also have a farmer, and I think this is the main thing. What you can do is you can farm your literal account. You can do loads of stuff within it. So if I go to accounts in here and then Nike, you can go as far to set custom profile pictures for each of your things. So right now, they're just set to a bunch of random photos of my mates. You know, just so it looks real and there's a real human photo. But I think it's absolutely insane that the Nike Farmer, and you can actually have the power to do all of this and also export them in a Nike email pass. The small details there are just incredible, because otherwise there'll be a CSV. You'll have to use some Excel, some Google Sheets. Forget all that. Nike email pass, you can paste it straight into a bot, or send it to me when I run Nike slots for you. Also, you have the Nike account resetter, which is really cool. But the farmer, I think, is the main thing there. This will farm your account for activity. 𝙎𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙎 doesn't even support this for UK. So that is some real big... That's a big thing all within here. Let's face it, no other toolbox even comes close to that. We can go ahead and X out of that. Now, 4 is Twitter, and this is just a Twitter generator and account unlocker. I don't really know why you'd want to use that, and I do not recommend it. Now, number 5 is a Zalando account generator and discount code generator. So you can generate your Zalando accounts, and you can then generate discount codes, which I think is sick. And I believe it works on a yearly birthday code system. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Now, this isn't perfect because it doesn't create cartable Zalando accounts. You do need to purchase something already. This is a really good start just to generate them, and a lot of this stuff you could potentially sell. So I believe you could easily pay back your Dispur Gen renewal and even initial fee if you get it for retail, simply just through selling accounts before you even actually use it for yourself on something like Nike and sneakers botting. Before any of that. Now, moving down, you have Amazon. Now, Amazon account generators are really hard to make because this also uses IMAP. It essentially logs into your master email. It looks for Amazon codes. It does SMS. It does all of that. And it's quite complex. You need Amazon accounts when you are botting, such as retail bots and doing like PS5 botting, all that sort of stuff. However, this does support it here, and Amazon accounts can sell for a lot of money if you do them in bulk, so there's some serious money to be made within this. It's a very smooth system, and yeah, it's a really small, cool feature to have. And again, everything that you see here, you can set up within here. So if I go to Amazon, you can see you have the main account, custom informations, and then your Amazon accounts here. So in main account, this is where you want to put your main account information of the master email you want to log into. Custom information, this is one if you want to specify any account names. So on Amazon, if you want to be called, let's say, for me, if I wanted to be called Ginger George, if you wanted that to be your name, you could select that all in there, and then all of your Amazon accounts will export into this CSV here. Let's go ahead and exit out of here though, but you can really see the extent of the stuff that you can do here, and not all the stuff available here is even here. So if I go to 7, you can see there's Raffle tools, and this will, I believe, jig for you. So how many profiles do I want? 10. Which country? UK. Input address, and it will then jig your address for you and do loads of cool stuff. So let's say I say Buckingham Palace. Random names or jig names. Let's just go for random names. The quality of jig, let's go for a 5. And here we go. This will then give us jigged addresses, which I think is super cool. It will then export it, give us it all in a CSV, all automatically, and boom, it's here. So it's not perfect. We don't have a postcode or anything, but you can easily post that in. But we have an address line 1, and it also gives us random month, days, years. If you need birthdays, gives us random numbers in a +44 or a 44, then a random first name and last name, but it can also jig that. I mean, that is just insane. That alone, tools like Sidekick do charge quite a lot of money for that, and having that within all of your account generators, a lot of people should step up their game and notice Dispur, because it's all the small things it has that I think people should really start to use. I think one of the most low-key ones here is Mailbird. Now, if you don't know what Mailbird is, it's essentially an all-in-one email inbox where you can log into all of your Gmails or Outlooks if you do not want to forward them. It does take a lot longer, but some people live by it and they say it's the best thing ever, but they always complain about how long it takes you to manually and individually log into each Gmail or Outlook within it. Not anymore. What you can do now is you can buy Mailbird, it's like £30 I think. You can generate all your Gmails and Outlooks within here. You can then export them and paste the database in, and then Mailbird will automatically log into them. You don't have to manually log into them at all. This is a massive thing, and if I go to Mailbird, you can see you can do an Outlook bulk importer, a Gmail bulk importer, database creator, switcher, stats, as well as delete. I don't know if any of you will understand how big this is, but for a lot of people, this will be game-changing. And again, I do not think Dispur push this, and maybe they want to keep it low-key. And sorry if I'm clipping the loop here, guys, but this is absolutely insane, and I think it's so sick Dispur has this. But also, how easy is it to use? As you can see, I have a few features here that I think they've discontinued, such as their Instagram module here, because I've had this for quite a while. For me, Nike's a big one. You can even go into something like config and select the waiting time between farming, and it's the small stuff like that. A lot of big names do not even have this, and who should be buying something like Dispur? I think it's very easy to say, if you want to get into raffle botting, if you want to start raffle botting, this is what you need, because it just ties everything together. It's your generator, it's your Nike farmer, which literally no one else even has. You put your proxies in here. It's all very, very kind of simple. As you can see, I've got proxies in there, and it's a very easy process, and it's all in a nice Discord. There is a GUI coming soon, so I'll probably do another video on this. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you want to see that, because I think when this bad boy gets GUI, the price is going to go sky high. More people are turning to raffles every day. If you don't have a raffle bot, click up there. I've got some sick raffle bot videos, and I'll see you in another video.